All right, if you're thus far, you've reached the end of your Zello tasks and you have one final thing to do. It'll only take you just a couple of minutes, and that's to think over everything you learned this year and kind of make a goal for yourself or set a plan, and this can change from year to year. So go ahead and log into Zello using those 9 dots in your Google icon, and then that Zello icon will get you here to your dashboard. I am 88% done. I have done every lesson on the left-hand side here, and now I'm going to make a plan. Now I'm going to mention something to you. See where it says My Goals and Plans on the right-hand side. This button on this lesson is going to take you over here. So if you ever need to get back or you don't finish it in one setting, this is where we're going to be. And when I open it, it says you did it, you made it to the end, and that it wants you to go ahead and make a plan or a goal and then revise those as you've come. Now, for me, I've already made a plan, so I'm getting this message. But for most of you, you're going to get a message that says you need to make a goal or a plan, and it'll have a button that'll take you right to this section. So I'm going to click on my goals and plans, and yep, here it is. I've already made one. But you will have nothing there and it will be blank, and you're going to choose the add a plan button. And every year at the end of the year, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, we're going to make a new plan so we can see how it changes over time. Look how easy this is. I'm going to simply click add a plan, and we can title this. And for you, since we're juniors, we can call it your 11th grade plan. That's a fine title. And at this point, we're just thinking, what do I feel like I'm doing? Again, remember, after high school, we may change our mind next year. We may even change our mind after we get started on something, but what are you thinking? So let's say that I think I want to go to a 2-year, maybe community college. I can click that if that's what I'm really feeling like my heart's telling me right now. Once I do that, it's going to add that schooling, and it gives me a to-do list. Usually these are things that Zello is telling you is probably a good thing to do. You can remove some if you know for a fact maybe you've already done that. But I just like to leave the ones that it gives me because they're usually really good suggestions, and I don't want to forget to do that. Then Zello's going to think for just a minute, and it's going to spin, spin, spin. It's going to put those onto a plan with a checklist, and I can come back later and check off that I've done that. Now, for my 11th grade plan, it's also asking, how sure am I? If you're not 100% sure, you could be like, I'm still considering. But for the most part, if this is where you feel, you kind of leave that alone. Now, it's added a pathway for me because that was the first question that I answered. And then now it wants me to think about a career. Again, this is not set in stone. This is just something that I think. Usually Zello will open up to kind of your saved careers or what you are really feeling good about. So maybe I'm really feeling good about a digital animator. So I'm going to select that and add it to my plan. And notice over here, I can always remove using 3 dots. Now, some thoughts here, some notes, is just anything you're thinking about. So why you were thinking about a digital animator, maybe you remember a 2-year college or like a training program you want to get into. So typing in some notes, going to try to get into Cal State School and intern Pixar, something like that. It's just to remind you so that next year when you get back to this plan, you can go ahead and add to it. Now you can add a cover image if you want. So if you had a picture of it, you could go find one. And then when we need to edit this plan later, we can kind of use that tool right there. Okay, so we've added something in every category, which means this plan is done, and I'm going to go back home. And you'll say, well, I did a plan, but it didn't put it here. Well, notice it had a question. Okay, so it says to submit this assignment, tell us how this year went for you using Zello and one thing you learned about yourself. So you made a goal and a plan. Excellent. You know it's saved. And now in order to submit it, you want to tell me how Zello went. So Zello was great. I learned a lot. Something like that. Or you can talk about specifically what direction it helped you get in. If Zello had some things that were difficult for you, you can write those as well, and we send those on to Zello and then let them know how they can make this better for you. So again, don't forget to go do one goal and then come on here and tell us all about how Zello may have helped you with that. And then I can just hit turn in. I don't have to attach a file because Zello saves that plan for me. And then I'll show you if I come back to this goals and plans section. Notice now I have an 11th grade plan. I can come in here and check things off. And then I also have one I made with another class. So the nice thing about Zello is once I've done all these lessons, I can still come back here and explore careers, schools, majors, do my college planning and any sort of vocational school. I can come and look at that, like costs and how to pay for things. And then I also have these personality quizzes. So thanks for joining us with Zello. Don't forget to make a plan, and we'll see you next year.